One of those. There you go.
Well, good evening and welcome to episode 4 of Saints FC Unscripted. A few bits to talk about tonight. Transfer window summary so far. We'll have a look at the Hull game. We'll talk about Tonda. Pressure mounting on him at the moment to turn some points and turn us around a little bit because it's all looking a bit bleak. What does he do when things are getting tough? Is he going to go from the club completely, or will he sink back into his under-21s role? And thoughts and feelings on the ownership and how the fans can possibly get some sort of a message across to show our displeasure with what's going on. Another turgid period for us fans. It's just a never-ending roller coaster, isn't it, for us at the moment? So yeah, a bit to talk about. 3 weeks, 3-game week for us this week, starting Saturday with Hull, obviously moving on to Wednesday night with Sheffield United, and then I don't know if we would dare talk about the Sunday, but we'll see how we go. So anyway, a win in the cup, just about. Once again, Saints cruising at half-time, looking pretty good for what we did. And who knows what is going on in that changing room at the half-time break, because it's all just going off the rails. And it's a pattern that's been so clear for so many weeks now. A great first half, lots of forward momentum, and then they come out in the second half and they just look like a team that is just not nowhere near what they were in the first half. So let's go into that, shall we? Dan, do you want to talk about the Doncaster game?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's the same old story with a. Well, I'm not. I'm going to disagree a little bit. The strong first half bit. We were against a team that is probably going to get relegated from League One. We should have commanded the first half. And I fell out with a few people on Twitter in the last week, as I tend to do, with some opinions. I know. We didn't command it. Commanding the game, yes, we were 3-0 up, so I completely agree. But commanding that game is having 20 shots on target. It is, consistently being in the opposition half. Instead, we were fannying around with the ball in between the centre-backs, going side to side to side to side, and we got a couple of breaks, and we scored good goals, by the way. Really good to see Cam Bragg score his first one. Archer with the deflection. I'm not bothered how he gets a goal. I really like Cam Archer, and I'd love to see him scoring. So a deflection, a messy one, I'm not fussed. And then, but it was quite underwhelming. It wasn't that high energy, exciting stuff that I thought we were going to see. I think in our last poddy, I sort of said we need to go and absolutely hammer them to get some confidence. And I think with the end result, there's no confidence to take from the players, in my opinion. I thought the new goalie, Peretz, I thought he was brilliant for someone that didn't know anyone's name pretty much. So that's tough in itself. He commanded the area brilliantly. He made some really good saves. Don't think he could have done much for the goals. I don't think he could. People were saying they were nervous when they saw him 30 yards off his line. I thought brilliant bit of goalkeeping. It's stuff that we haven't seen. And so I'm all for it, really. Overall, I was disappointed with the performance. I was disappointed with the result. Yes, a win's a win, but winning 3-2 against a team that's going to get relegated from League One is very different to just winning 1-0. I would have rather the 1-0 win, to be honest. You should not be conceding goals to a team of that standard, and the same sloppy goals at that. So, Lee, I know you didn't watch the full game, but you've caught up on some bits. I know we've spoken sort of in the group. What did you think?
Yeah, I very much same as you, Dan. I want to just go back a little bit before the game even started. Oriol Romeu can't even make the bench against this team. What is going on there? it's completely bizarre to me. The team, we've discussed it many times, the team is leaderless. I think Harwood Bellis actually is probably the correct captain to have.
Yeah.
I think he's done it all his life. He's been England captain at various ages. He's probably the best captain. But when Tonda comes out in the press and says all Romeo needs is minutes, you're not going to get another chance, mate. You're not going to get a better chance than to play him in this game. Whether that's an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour at the end, whatever, you're not going to get a better chance. So where's the plan? He's been in 2 months. Where is the plan to get him fit? Now, I think we can all agree he hasn't performed well in the few minutes he's had. He has looked leggy.
Yep.
He's looked a bit off it. He didn't play for what, 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah.
He hadn't played. So you've got to play him in any opportunity you get. You have to play him. So, not talking about the game so much here, is this just another PR stunt from Sport Republic to take a bit of heat off of them? Just let's get him in. Fans love him. Be a bit of heat off us for 5 minutes.
It seemed convenient, didn't it?
Very convenient.
Very convenient when the timing of bringing him in just after Steele's sacking. Was it like a couple of days after?
Yeah.
So it was almost that, and we know, Rom had been in and out of the club in the last couple of weeks before that, doing some PR stuff with a podcast, and I think we all saw that. But he's always come back to Southampton. When we were training in Spain, he came to meet the team and stuff. So he's always come back and been there or thereabouts. It was convenient, I think, is the best word for it. That shit, Will Steele's gone. Fans are panicking. Don't worry, this is what we'll do. We'll bring in Romeo, and it'll kind of settle everyone back down to.
But the thing is now, what's happening? Because Shea Charles is back in training. Cam Bragg's playing well. There's no room for him.
So is Flynn Downs.
Flynn Downs. So it may be that Romeo's influence is actually rubbing off, because Downs has certainly put in a shift the last few games.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've sort of digressed with Romeo. I wanted to get that off my chest with Romeo. But the game itself, I've watched the highlights. I thought Matsuki's goal, it was a cracking header from Matsuki. Cameron Archer's goal, a little bit lucky, but you've got to be in the right place at the right time. You've got to shoot. You've got to buy a ticket to win the lottery. I've used that one before. And so that was good. I thought the first half from the highlights seemed pretty good, but then the second half, it's the same old thing again, isn't it? The goals we conceded are pathetic. We were very, very lucky not to be 3-0. Very lucky not to be 3-0. It's just a worry, isn't it, going into the whole game? It's a massive, massive game. I think you're right, Dan. I don't think it's done anything to give anybody any confidence going into this next 3-game week. Disappointing. I think disappointing.
I think you have to take it for what it is. It's to take any positivity out of it. A win's a win, as they say. It's funny you say about Romeo. I was thinking exactly the same. It was a pure deflection tactic. The Sport Republic were coming under severe fire from the fans. When Will Steele left, that they reacted to the chants going around the ground at the Preston game. Sport Republic out. They reacted to that. They got rid of Will Steele, and then they bring Romeo in, who they knew was a club favourite. Pure deflection tactic for me. I'm shocked that he's not figured any more than he has, because, like you say, everybody said it. We are leaderless. Really. I mean, Jack Stevens is not a leader. And how can he be when he's in and out of the team as much as he is? It's you're changing captains every week, aren't you? One week it's Stevens, the next it's Armstrong, or it's Harwood Bellis. I mean, Armstrong's not a leader for me. So it's a real shame, and I think he needs to address that. But as you said, Lee, Shea Charles is coming back. You've got to think that he's going to be somewhere close to starting most weeks. I mean, Yander has gone way off the boil, and now whether that's a young kid that's just
a kid,
completely burnt out, I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Maybe it's a situation that Tonda can't control. He's just not got the kahunas to deal with that situation. He hasn't got the balls to turn around to one of them and say, look, I need Romeo to play. You're going to have to drop out. So it'll be interesting to see. But the game itself, I was working, so I managed to listen to most of the first half, but and I've seen the highlights. But I thought the goals were pretty decent goals. I mean, Cam Archer's goal. I mean, he had to work hard to get himself into that situation where he could shoot, and he muscled through a couple of players and then eventually got his shot off. Bragg's goal was a good team goal, and great cross from Tom Fellows, which is what we've been crying out from him to do, isn't it? To get that cross in, and it was a great header from Matsuki. But I didn't realise the second half was quite as bad as what it was. I mean, I watched the highlights again earlier, and just pedestrian. It's the only way I can describe it. I mean, it's just, you watch the players on the pitch for the first goal, and I think they had a really good chance just before they scored. And it looked like we had like 10 men just stood like statues watching Doncaster ping it around. And then eventually the cross came in, and I think it sort of looped over to the far side and went out for a corner, didn't it? And I was just, oh my God. And I mean, the first goal, I mean, I don't know if Peretz can do any better with that. He sort of flaps at it a little bit, doesn't he? I don't know whether.
I'll come to his defence. He hasn't played for 4 months.
No.
Yeah. So he hasn't played for 4 months. He met up with the squad on Thursday afternoon, from what I've heard, and literally knew a few people's names, and so
fair enough.
If you look at the caliber of save he did make, especially those two at the end of the game, I've seen enough to go, and they're coming out with a header.
Yeah. And the free kick as well. Free kick in the first half. Was it the first half? I think
great
save. Free kick that he tipped around the post, didn't he? So we'll give him the benefit. I mean, the second goal, I mean, I think there's very little we can do with that. The ball eventually finds its way to the man at the far post, and he just sort of rifles it in, doesn't he? I mean, he's not going to do anything with that. But worrying. The defending for the 2 goals, worrying. I mean, Wellington just, he got caught out of position so many times. And we've had this argument with Ryan Manning, haven't we? That he just looks lazy, like he can't be bothered. Well, Wellington did no better. I mean, he's barely played, has he, either? So I just don't know what is being said to them at half time. I mean, Lee, you manage your kids' team. I've managed teams in the past, and you go in at half time and you get them rolled up at half time, don't you? And you point out to them, first 10 minutes, we're winning the game. First 10 minutes, the other team are going to come and throw everything at us. You've got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
What is he saying to them? Because they're just rolling over and getting spanked on the arse, aren't they? Every single week. It can't go on.
It can.
It can. Yeah.
It just baffles me. It really baffles me what the complete. I know it wasn't great in the first half, but at least they were getting forward. They were creating chances, and we stuck 3 away. So what on earth the turnaround is to then be spanked 2-0, 2-0 in the second half. And let's be honest, Doncaster missed a couple of good chances as well. They can feel very aggrieved to have not got a result, at least taken us to penalties in that game, or extra time and penalties, or whatever it is. So it's not good. It is a worry. And as you say, Dan, a team that's probably going to get relegated from League One, it should be better than that.
I think if the scoreboard was missing and someone tuned in, they would have thought Doncaster were the Championship side in the second half, the start of that second half. I genuinely think the standard difference was there, and they just didn't have that final bit of quality to put it to, get us back level or get them back level early. And I think they would have gone, they would have done, they would have gone on and won.
Yeah, probably right.
Brutal, it wasn't acceptable. I get what you mean. A win is a win, and I'm all for that. But the next game in that cup, I'm not looking forward to that. And there's like, and to go back to Romeu, do you really see Romeu getting minutes against Leicester? No, because that midfield will run circles round him. So that's a game where you've missed your chance to rest people. I mean, I don't understand why Flynn Downs played 90 minutes again, to be honest. That confused me. You know, you're not going to get a chance to rest these players. It's a 3-game week this week. And then you're in the thick of it. Then there's that cup weekend around Valentine's Day. And against Leicester, if you want to go through, you have to put out your best team. So, and with the size of our squad, we should really have 2 teams. We should be playing a cup team with a couple and a league team. And we're not.
No. Lee, what did you make of the starting lineup? Because, you know, Fraser was missing. You know, there was talk that a couple went away on holiday for the week, didn't they? You know, maybe we could touch on that as well. But I certainly felt Romeu was going to start. But there was talk that he was meant to be playing for the under-21s on the Friday night. So, but that game got pulled right at the last minute, I believe. So maybe that came into Tonda's thinking. But what did you think about the starting lineup? Were you happy with that lineup?
Yeah, I wasn't too. I thought the starting lineup was okay. I mean, as I've said, I was really disappointed Romeu didn't start. I thought there might be a situation where Ross Stewart started, but he got a few minutes at the end. And I believe, well, judging from the highlights, and I think you said to us, Dan, that actually when he came on, he held the ball up quite well. And he did give us another option. He started, obviously, it was good that Fellow started on the wing, starting in his natural position. And in the first half, he was getting forward and he was getting crosses in by all accounts. So, yeah, I don't think the starting lineup was too far away from anything we expected, to be honest. Given the players that went on holiday, was it Ryan Manning went on holiday?
Flynn Downs apparently was part of the rumour, and Jack Stevens.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what sort of message that sends to the other lads.
Well, Manning put it on Instagram, so Manning was definitely in Dubai.
Yeah,
but maybe he was given the week off. Maybe the club did say to him, "You're not going to be in the squad."
Well, they would have to have done, otherwise he'd be fined for his eyes, wouldn't he? If he wasn't. But what do you think if Roy Keane was captain and so went, "Yeah, I'm going to Dubai while we're playing an FA Cup game"? What do you think he'd say to that?
Well, this is the point, isn't it? I mean,
and the thing is, just Ryan Manning is not our crown jewel. If it was, let's just say it was Adam Armstrong, and Adam Armstrong's goal scoring streak had continued all the way through, and he was now on 15, 16 goals, playing brilliantly, and he was the talisman. Or Cienza had carried on his run of form, brilliant, had a couple of niggles, get away in the sun for a week, mate. You're too important to us. You can kind of understand it. But Ryan Manning getting a break in the sun, do me a favour.
Do me a favour. And I mean, he's played pretty much every game though, isn't he, Ryan Manning? He's pretty much he's been involved every single game, hasn't he? He started most games, hasn't he? I mean, I think he's been on the bench for a few, but I mean, he's played a lot of minutes, to be fair to him. But come on, I mean, you know, have the game week off, but you still, you know, you're not playing that well that you can afford to be off in the sun for a week, surely. But who knows? I mean, there might be something going on privately.
If Romeu can't make the bench, why isn't he travelling with the squad as a senior pro? Someone in the changing room. You know, the whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. Really doesn't. But Dan, tell me how Ross Stewart looked when he came on.
He looked lively. Every time he does come on the pitch, he looked lively, and he did look lively again. He tried to get on the ball. He did hold it up, and he did give us an outlet. The bit that always confuses me and will always confuse me with Ross Stewart is how does he find himself on the wing?
Yeah.
You know, you're the tallest bloke in probably that end of the country at that time. You know, get the ball, play it out wide, and get into the middle of the box. So there was a couple of times where he's out on the edge again, passes the ball off, and then no one's in the box. So where do we go? Back to Harwood Bellis and co. And you go, great. So you're just inviting them to press on to us again, rather than making their keeper make a save or winning a corner and just giving yourself that extra minute of relief of pressure. It just looks like he's going to get injured, though.
Yeah.
That's the bit that scares me. In all honesty, I don't mind him. I think he could be or could have been a good player had he not have had his injury issues. And I just think he's got, like, the rain cloud follows him wherever he goes sort of scenario. The pitch looked rock hard, and from what I've heard from some of the players, it was pretty sketchy. So I'm surprised he got risked with sort of those things in mind and whatnot as well. But you had no choice at the end of the day. I think what we said, I said on the last pod was, again, it seems a bit of convenience that they're chucking him into the team and he's getting 10 there, 5 here. And it just screams to me that they're hoping he gets a couple of goals, and I can potentially see him starting one of these next 2 games. I know we're going to get on to that, but I can see it. And he'll score, and I'll be chuffed for him. I will, because, again, he deserves it. And SR will go, our striker problem's fixed. Ross Stewart's back. And that scares me. That really, really scares me. Regardless of what club you play for, none of us ever wish an injury on a player, because this is their livelihood and what they've worked hard to get to. But that's going to be what happens. He is going to get injured again in February after the window closes, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. And we're back to just relying on Adam Armstrong. And then the shape will change again. We'll go back to 5 at the back because you can't play 2 because they're both too small. And that'll be that. That's the only good thing about Ross Stewart, is that I think that does make us play 4 at the back, because you can't just play him and you can't take Armstrong out of the team, because if anyone is going to score in these championship games, it's going to be Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, I do worry about his fitness. I mean, there's no way he goes till the end of the season now without picking up another injury along the way somewhere. No way in the world. And I think you're right, Dan. I think Sport Republic are looking at him and think, oh, well, he's back. We if we can nurture him and keep him fit, then we don't have to sign another striker. But his track record, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's just flashed up on my phone. Celtic have inquired about Callum Wilson from West Ham. I mean, that would be a fantastic signing for us. But again, another player with, not a great fitness record, but yeah, lack of foresight will stop that. I'm sure there's no way he comes to us. I wouldn't have thought, but there we go. Does anyone else want to say anything about the Doncaster game before we move on to the exciting transfer window?
No, the sooner we stop talking about Doncaster, the better, I think.
Yeah. Well, to round the Doncaster off for me, I mean, it wasn't great, but a win is a win in my book, and they got to take some sort of confidence from that. So that's what I'm going to take from that. But anyway, so transfer window, we've seen 2 leave in the shape of Gavin Bazunu, which I didn't think was a surprise to anyone. And of course, Ronnie Edwards has gone to QPR, which is a real bugbear of mine, because we've talked about it in our WhatsApp group quite a bit. A kid that they would have, I think when they signed him, it was a real out of the bag sort of thing, because lots of clubs were interested in him, and you speak to the Peterborough fans and they were, oh, he's just so good, he's far too good for us. There was lots of bigger clubs looking at him, I think, at the time, and we managed to get him, and we've just fucked him around for like 2 years or however long he's been with us. I mean, we barely played him when he started. I can't remember who was in charge when we bought him. Was it Russell Martin?
Yeah.
And I think he played a few cup games, but he was pretty much in the under-21s to begin with for a lot of the time, and then we shipped him off to QPR.
Yeah, last year.
This is his second year. No, this has got to be his 3rd season with us, hasn't it? So I don't think the first season he did anything. They just kept him around in the under-21s.
Yeah.
And then the second season, Russell Martin played him in cup games, didn't he? First part of the season. and then they shipped him out on loan to QPR, where he went on to win the Championship Young Player of the Year. You know, England under 21. It's the signing you want to make, isn't it? It's the type of player that us as a club we want to be attracting. You know, there's pedigree there. You know, nurture him, look after him, treat him properly, phase him into the side. I mean, it's just not happened.
Well,
So
it's short-term thinking by the club. They've gone and given 32-year-old Jack Stevens a 3-year deal because he's good around the club.
31, I think he was when he signed it.
And let's be honest, Jack Stevens' performances this season are just going downhill. He can't even command a place in the team now. And they've gone and sold Ronnie Edwards for next to no money. Peterborough are getting a big wedge of the money we've sold. So we haven't made anything.
No, we've lost on it.
It's the only way I can see that they've done this is because they're about to bring in another centre-back, and one needed to go, and he was the one they could get money for now, even though it wasn't much. They knew they had a buyer straight away. Right, sell him because, and maybe this is the plan when we're doing them a misservice. Maybe they've got a first team centre-back coming in who is going straight into the team to improve us, and they needed to make a space. But if February the 1st comes and they haven't bought another centre-back, or they get another youngster or something, it just looks stupid. It's typical Sport Republic.
Can I ask, do you actually think they're going to get another centre-back? Because let's just, Wood, Harwood-Bellis, Quasi, Stevens.
No, they're not going to get another
centre-back. So you've got 4.
No,
in my opinion, that's coverage.
And don't forget the young lad came back from loan.
Kai Sander.
Kai Sander. He's come back off loan, hasn't he? Where was he? Red Star Belgrade or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. But look at his ceiling, and I've heard Alfie House talk about this, and I'm probably stealing from him a little bit, but I agree with every word he said. His ceiling is up there with Harwood-Bellis. He's going to be a better player than Wood. He's going to be in 2 years' time. At least he's going to be playing football. Jack Stevens is going to be a grandpa with a Zimmer frame. He's not going to be on the pitch. Let's be honest.
And we're not saying that Edwards is going to be the next Van Dijk. That's not what we're saying here. I've chatted to people.
Good Championship player.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in the Championship next year. And if Harwood-Bellis leaves, we're going to be looking at buying another Ronnie Edwards. So put your arm around him. Go, look, come on, G him up a bit. You're going to be a first-team regular next year. Just another little nail in the shit season we're having, isn't it?
Well, it's another nail in the calamitous Sport Republic transfer system. You know, when you look at all the transfers they've made in the 4 years that they've been with us, who actually has been a good player for us? You know, Harwood-Bellis, Downs. Anyone else? Not really. Cienza, yeah. And then look at all the negatives, you know, look at all those players that they brought in for Nathan Jones, you know, refused to let Ralph spend any money, but then spent 100 million or whatever it was on Onuachu and
Orsic.
Did
he play one game?
Yeah, one game. Yeah. So it's a really disappointing piece of business that for me, and I really hope it's because they've got somebody lined up to come in. But
and then the one in so far is just Peretz, isn't it?
Just Peretz, yeah.
Which I'm happy with.
Season.
I mean, it sounds
8 million potential transfer fee apparently, but
and that's what we've given Stoke for. So we'd break even if let's say Stoke go to take Bazunu for 8 mil. And we go and get Peretz for 8 mil, we've broken even. You haven't lost anything. So I wouldn't be mad at that.
No.
If that was the case, but let's see what happens. It's only going to be a long 4 and a bit months, to make that decision. And we'll see what comes of it. Now, Matt, what do you think of the transfer window? So far, well, obviously it's been quite quiet. I think we got linked with one fella that we were linked with in the summer. Will still wanted him.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
And then looking at the stats, well, I mean, it looks a bit tragic to me. And then it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on Josh Sargent. I know someone that you two like a lot of. I'm not the biggest fan, I'll be honest. Wouldn't mind him. We're not going to go and pay 18 million for a striker, and if he goes off to Toronto or wherever it is for 18 mil, fair play Norwich for getting that deal across the board.
Yeah.
So what would do you think anything's going to come in, Matt, or do you think that's it? We'll see some minimal activity. I think it'll be a couple more out the door. I don't think we'll see another one come in.
Well, I mean, they've got to do something with Ryan Fraser, who's clearly been phased out again. They've got to do something with him. They've got to do something with Edozie, and they've got to do something with Joe Aribo. I mean, there's three there that are probably on decent money. Certainly, Aribo is meant to be one of the highest earners, isn't he? I mean, they've got to find a solution for him, because he's taken up squad space and he's taken up wage. So they've got to get rid of those three, I think. Do I think anyone's going to come in? I would. I mean, you talk to any Saints fan, and I've probably said this. There's 30,000 fans sat in that ground every week. Every one of us knows what we need. All the commentators, all the social media people, they all know what we need. We needed a goalkeeper. We possibly need another centre back, and we absolutely need another striker. Do Sport Republic think the same? I don't think they do. I think if you listen to Tonda, he says he's happy with his squad. So no, I think unless something absolutely falls in their lap, then no, I don't think we're going to do much at all. That's that winger that you mentioned. I mean, we looked at him in the summer, didn't we? And I remember looking at his stats then and thinking, well, this kid's no better than what we've already got. Josh Sargent, yeah, I think he'd be great. I mean, he scores goals, doesn't he? That's the biggest thing. He scores goals, but his fitness record is not particularly great. He misses a lot of games through injury, but he is big. He's strong. He's fairly quick. And he scores goals, and he's done it in the Championship for years now. So, yeah, I'd love to see that. But you're absolutely right. They're not going to go out and spend 18 million on him. No chance. I just don't think they've got the money to do that. I don't even know if they've got the financial capacity to be able to do that with the fair play and everything. So, yeah, I can't see us doing a lot at all.
It's going to be a loaner, isn't it? If we get one in, it's going to be someone on loan.
Well, Lee, my question to you is Edozie. Why would you not contemplate trying to reintegrate him? Because
absolutely,
in my opinion, he offers something. And I'll be careful how I say this because I'll get absolute pelters. But he offers something similar to Cienza, in my opinion, where he'll try and take people on. He's not. I don't think he's as changing as Cienza, but I think in terms of if Cienza's only going to play an hour, and to go back, I didn't realise the Bundesliga and stuff pretty much closes off for December. So I think that's why we're seeing Yanda struggle. I think he's a young lad, and he normally has basically the whole of December off. I think that's why they were protecting Cienza a little bit. But if Cienza's going to play an hour bring on a like for like. Don't bring on someone who's completely different. Especially if a right back's on a yellow card. Bring someone on that's going to keep running at him. So, yeah, Lee, why do you think he's, is there a chance for him?
You're 100% right. You can't really compare them, but they're a similar style of player. They get the ball, they run at a man, they try and beat a man, and they get across him. And the thing with Edozie is you've got Fellows and Cienza there. You've got Robinson, for me, young lad, learning his craft, doing all right, but his final ball's not quite there at the end product. Yeah. Now, they're playing for us because they don't have a lot of end product. I get it. But Edozie is another direct replacement for these two sorts of players. He's an out-and-out winger.
Yeah.
He's going to try and beat a man. But he's been injured for a long time. He's a bit like Romeo, I expect. He's played no football. Tonda,
and he wanted to leave,
chuck him in.
Yeah, he wanted to leave as well, didn't he?
Yeah. that I just can't see it, Dan. I just can't see him all of a sudden, unless the shit hits the fan big time, and he does a bit of a Russell Martin panics like Martin did, didn't he? And he chucked Onuachu in. Unless he panics, I don't think you're going to see him, which is a shame for me because I always thought he was a decent player. But for me, I think you've got to say fair play to them. They've addressed the goalkeeper situation quite quickly, and they've done that. So well done. Kudos to them. They've done it. But they need a centre-back. Yeah. For me, they need a decent left-back. I would bring James Bree back if it was me. And I think I said this in the last pod.
Got a couple of days left, and he's 17th, I think, is the date in my head.
And I haven't heard any more that they're going to keep him. I'd bring him back and play him. I quite like him, Championship player. If they're not going to bring a Dozy in,
in front of Yellott? Because that's the challenge you've got now that he's back and he looks good.
Yellott can play on the left, can't he?
So Yellott
on the left, Bree on the right.
The
thing with Bree I like, he's an out-and-out athlete.
Yeah, he is.
Rarely injured. He's strong. He's quick. He's up for the fight. Yellott is quite small. That's the only sort of direction I'm going. They need someone who they can bring on when Fellows and Cienza get tired, and they're not bringing on a Fraser. I know he hasn't played for a long time, but that sort of player who's a defensive winger.
Yeah,
they need an out-and-out winger, and they need a striker. They've needed a striker since Danny Ings left, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Dan. This is all set up for Ross Stewart to score the winner against Pompey. No, he's not going to do that. Be brilliant, and then he goes and gets injured on the 1st of February. You can see it a mile off. You can see it a mile off. So that's what I would do. I would bring a Dozy back, but I'm not sure we're going to see him. But I think they've got a lot to do, but I just don't think they're going to do it. I think if they do anything, it'll be a loan. It'll be a Chelsea schoolboy or something, or a Man City's youngster.
Which is not what we need.
Great.
No, it's not what we need. They've got to get some. They've got to get some men in that team. They've got to get some experience, some wily old foxes in there who know how to win in the Championship.
Yeah,
but disappointing so far. But we've got another 2 or 3 weeks, haven't we? So maybe they'll pull something out of the bag. But transfer windows could be that we are then looking for a manager as well. Tonda's under massive pressure, isn't he? After a fantastic start, where everyone was saying, "Oh my God, where's this kid come from?" To now, it almost feels like we're back where we were just before Will Steele got the sack. The crowd have turned again. He's got, for all the good that he did in that first sort of 5 or 6 games, he's lost it all. I think now. He's got nothing in the bank, to coin the phrase. Where do we go with him? It's a massive, massive week for him. So, Dan, what do you think happens?
I don't know. I don't know. I really struggle to see where a win comes from in the next 3 games. And that, for me, cements it, because if he doesn't get at least a win in the next 3 games, I don't think it matters who it's against, then he's in trouble. I don't think it'd be fair just to get rid of him purely and proper kick him out of the club, because he was clearly doing, look at him in the under-21s. The under-21s have been doing really well. But then you've given Lallana that job. So what, I don't know what happens with the politics of all of that. It would be really harsh just to completely boot him out of the club when he was learning his craft, and he's been chucked in the deep end. His armbands have been sent in after him, and he can't quite put them on to stay afloat. And I think that's a pretty poor analogy, but you kind of get the gist. I think that's where he is, and I think he's in big trouble. I go back to what I said early days, and we've said a lot. It just feels like between Spurs and Sport Republic and the hierarchy is that they're throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. And it's almost like what happened. We got lucky with Russell Martin. They threw something at the wall in this young guy. It stuck. He got us up, but then he came unstuck really quickly. Tonda, they threw something at the wall with him. It stuck on, and he's hanging on with his fingertips, and it's about to fall off again. What's next? And then are we just going to go around in this cycle? It'll be a shame. It will be a shame. Again, when I watch Saints, I kind of look at the lineup and I get a picture in my head of what I'm sort of expecting to see, and then I don't see it. I've lost the patterns of play again. I don't understand what we're doing apart from passing it along the back four. And I've just got no interest in watching that at all. So it's tough. It really is. And I just don't know what... I mean, the way out for him is to go win. Go and win. And I know that sounds really simple, but it will buy him some more time. And I do think he just needs time to keep going and growing and learning his trade. Unfortunately, he's not going to get backed in the transfer window this month. I think we've just, sort of nailed that on. So he's not going to really go and get players he wants. But he's trusted Bragg to come up. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce the young fella's name from the under-21s, the striker. Yeah. He made the bench a few times and didn't get used. And I'm going, we're crying out for someone to just be risky. So surely an under-21 player who has no fear at all, because he's literally not going to care about who he's up against. He's just going to try and score. He'll try and shoot from 30 yards out. He'll do the dirty stuff and he'll try and prove a point. So you've trusted Bragg to defend the team and stop goals. Why are you not trusting one to try and get you a goal at the other end? And that's a bit confused me a little bit, especially when he's known him for a period of time in the under-21 setup. Yeah. So I think he's in trouble. I really, really do. And this next game week is telling. If we do not come out of this game week with one win, it's game over. Lee, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, The worrying thing for me, I think there's two things here. I think Hull actually, I know it's going to sound a bit funny because it's Portsmouth, but I think Hull could be the biggest game in the three.
Yeah.
Because if it goes Pete Tong in this game, I think he is in all sorts of trouble. But the also worrying thing is we are notoriously crap in the third game of a 3-game week.
Yes.
We are crap in that third game. We've had the opportunity to do back-to-back game wins, haven't we? Never done it. We've never played well in that third game. But I think I'm with you, Dan. I think it's a massive week. He's got to get it right. And if on Saturday we play Hull, we don't play well, we don't get the win, I think a win is needed. And again, if it's a draw, it's the manner of the draw, isn't it? If it's an exciting 3-3 draw and the fans are like, whoa, good game, I think they're on board. Lose that one, you're going in the shit. And they've got an opportunity against Hull, because I believe Hull have got a lot of players out.
Yeah.
So they've got an opportunity. But looking back when we played Hull away, Hull bullied us. Absolutely bullied us. Is it Kiefer Moore, their striker?
No, Ollie McBurney.
Ollie McBurney, sorry. They're one and the same, aren't they, those two?
Yeah.
But Ollie McBurney bullied us, and he is playing. We can handle him. So for me, Hull is a massive game. I think the other problem here is if we don't start well, if we go a goal down, St Mary's is just going to be toxic. Absolutely toxic. Yeah. And I don't know. I can't decide who the fans will get on. I actually think it will be a bit more Sport Republic this time than Tonda.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he will get some stick, but I don't think he's going to get the brunt of it. I think it'll be Sport Republic.
But will we see them deflect it? Because again, they got the stick in the Preston game, and what did they do?
Sacked him. Yeah.
There you go. So Alfie made a really good point the other day. I listened to it, and I think I listened to it earlier today a bit to catch up. You can't sack the board.
No.
The fans can't. You can't just sack the board and get a new board in. Obviously, they can sack positions within the board, but only Dragon's going to do that. So you're at a loss. If they hear stick towards them as big as we know it can be, they're just going to go, well, it's the manager that's the problem. The team's not winning, and they control the football.
Yeah.
So, it's a really tough one.
There's a part of me that thinks he can lose to Hull and Sheffield United as long as he beats Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think there's a part of me that if he beats Hull and Sheffield United but loses to Portsmouth, I think he still could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the fans, and I don't think we're going to beat Portsmouth.
I don't.
I think the players are going to bottle it at Fratton Park, and I think they'll beat us. But I've just got no confidence going into these 3 games. I mean, we'll probably do score predictions later. I won't do them now. But these 3 games are scaring me stiffless. I've got no confidence in that team. They need a result on Saturday. Saturday's key for the rest of the week. And that's obvious, isn't it? But I don't know. He's in trouble. The next 3 games, we are going to know. By Sunday evening, we are going to know what's happening with him. He might surprise us. We might win 3 on the spin, and everything's roses again.
This is it.
But if he doesn't,
Matt,
what do you think, Matt?
Oh yeah, Matt, I was about to rephrase it to you a little bit, because we just sort of went through the starting lineup for the Doncaster game, and we put out a fairly strong team. So you've had a week break, and then you've got 3 games, and 3 important games at that. So he's missed a chance for squad rotation in resting people. And again, I'd mentioned Flynn Downs. So he's got to factor that in. And where he's not, you can't take out your best players. I mean, if Cienza doesn't start at Fratton Park, my goodness me.
Yeah.
So where does he factor that in?
Does that mean Cienza won't play Wednesday night then?
Well, this is my question. Where does he factor in squad rotation into this 3-game week when it is such an important week, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know who's on yellow cards and things like that. I mean, is Flynn Downs on? Is he getting close? So he's probably all right. I mean, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you certainly don't want to throw all your eggs into the basket Saturday, Wednesday, and then you come away Wednesday and wake up Thursday morning and Flynn Downs is struggling and Cienza's struggling and Adam Armstrong's picked up a knock or something. Do you? So out of the 3 games, what's the I mean, there's no easy game, is there? But what's the easier of the 3 games? It's probably going to be Sheffield United, isn't it? So that for me is where he's going to have to be clever and use his squad. Stevens is going to have to come in, maybe Quasi, and they're going to have to do a bit of a share there. And what does he do with the left back position? Does he go with Wellington? I mean, I said the other day, you just can't second guess them, can you? Any of them. Tonda, he was successful with the 4 at the back against Doncaster. Will he go with the 4 at the back against Hull? Absolutely no chance for me. He double backs and he plays it safe, and he sticks his 3 centre backs in again, and plays it safe. But as you've said, it's a massive week, and it's probably Tonda's biggest week he's going to have as Saints manager, I think, because he's Hull are coming down with, they reckon they've got like 8 or 9 injuries, don't they?
Yeah.
So they're not going to be at full strength. Well, if you take that into consideration, and then we don't get anything out of it, he's up against it. And then Sheffield United are on the rise, aren't they? As we knew they would be. Danny Ings is coming back down to St Mary's as well. He's just
and you see him scoring, don't you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can, absolutely. And I really worry for Tonda, and he's a young lad, isn't he? And it goes back to that argument: should he have been put in this position in the first place? Should he have been given the job? But as you've both said, they were caught between a rock and a hard place, weren't they? He won those games; they couldn't really not give it to him. If they'd not given it to him and then they brought somebody else in and then they'd lost the first 3 or 4 games, it would, the fans would have been on their backs. Oh, you should have given it to Tonda. So damned if they do, damned if they don't, aren't they? But I think the gamble, another Sport Republic gamble, is not paying off. And let's be honest, talk about the transfer window with Tonda. He's not going to have any say in who comes in. He's just a yes man, like Will Steele was. He was just a yes man, and that was proved by the transfer window that Will Steele was here for. None of those signings were Will Steele signings. They were all Johanna Spores and the club signing. So they're just yes men, and that's what they want. And I do worry. I do worry for Tonda. But then on the flip side, are they going to want to be another 3 managers a season club for the second year running?
They may not have any choice. If this week goes against them, they won't have any choice.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Tonda's come from within, and he's come from the under-21s. He's
Tonda himself would not want to go back to the 21s. That is a massive kick in the teeth. Yeah, you're not good enough for the first team, mate. You're back to the 21s.
Yeah.
But is it also a bit of a show of loyalty to him? A case of
they can offer it to him. Of course,
and I think it would be the right thing to do. But
what do they do with Lallana though? If he's just been given the under-21s role until the end of the season, what do they do with Lallana?
They swap places.
He's a value. Well,
have they been doing well, the under-21s under Lallana?
I don't know. They've hardly played, have they?
Okay.
I mean, you can look it up. I don't think they've played a lot.
It's very difficult. And I feel really sorry for Tonda. He's a young kid, really, isn't he? I say that as an old git, and he's a young kid, but that should probably have not been put in that position. Everyone said at the time, we need an experienced manager. We need an older head that's going to come in and steady the ship. But you have to ask the question as well. Those players have already proved under Tonda that they can go out and put performances in. And, those early games where he was in charge, we were steamrolling teams.
Yeah.
So what has happened to stop that from happening? Is it something that Tonda's doing himself, or is it this bunch of players have just phoned it in again? It's a continual recurring cycle that seems to be happening with this nucleus of players.
It's the Russell Martin core needs to piss off.
Well,
sorry, I'm on one tonight. I'm on one
tonight. Tell.
Yeah. So, big week. So, should we talk about Hull and the preview? I mean, I touched on what I think's going to happen. Lee,
I touched on it as well. No, Ollie McBurney. I think Ollie McBurney's going to bully us. I just don't trust him to defend. You can't trust him to keep a clean sheet. Perret certainly looks like an upgrade. I mean, he needs to play football, of course, but he looks commanding. Just can't trust him. Trust them. And they're not. Even if we're 3-0 up at half time, you're nervous as a fan at half time.
It's not done.
Because it's not done. You can't trust them. So personally, I mean, I think Ollie McBurney's going to be too much for us. I think they're going to know exactly how to play us, bully us, be super physical, will make mistakes. I just can't see us winning it. I think we end up 2-1, 3-1 loss. I honestly do. I just can't see it. I've got no confidence in that defence at the minute.
No.
So they need to win me over. And as far as what's changed, I mean, we've been through that, haven't we? He's tweaked the formation to be a hybrid of Martin ball and Still ball and Tonda ball, where they're playing it around the back more. The wingers have been inverted a little bit. Cienza's not getting the space because he's not high and wide. He's now tucked inside. It's just
safe. He's trying to play it safe.
Yeah. He had nothing to lose when he was the interim, did he? Then he got the job, and all of a sudden it's, oh shit, I've got the job. I need to be a little bit more tight, myself. A little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's just not worked for us. I mean, I honestly, people are probably telling me to shut up here, but I would rather see a thrilling 4-4 draw.
I agree.
Than a 2-1 loss or a 1-0 loss. Obviously, because it's a point. But, I just want to see my team go for it.
I understand how they're going to play.
Yeah. But it's completely changed.
Yeah.
From just watching them at Charlton with my two boys laughing at the fifth goal. Charlton are not a decent team. I get that. And perhaps five of those games that Tonda won at the start weren't against the best teams. I get it. But it was fast-flowing, forward-thinking football. Balls at the Bath, go for it and win the match.
Yeah.
Get your 3 or 4 goals. Come on. It was a we're going to score more than you. You might score 3. We're going to get 4. And now it's try and keep a clean sheet because we can only score 1. It's like,
yeah.
So for me personally, my review is we're going to lose 3-1.
Dan, what about you?
I don't think we're going to lose 3-1. I don't think we're going to lose 3-1. I think we're going to lose 1-0.
1-0.
I just don't think we're going to be able to finish. I think we're going to create some chances. I think we might see 4 at the back. I think that's going to be his tweak. That when we're at home, I think he's going to go 4 at the back, and we might see Stewart play alongside Armstrong up front, and Azaz gets dropped out, and then maybe Azaz comes up and plays alongside Armstrong, and he's got a bit more freedom to do what he wants. But Armstrong won't be left alone. I think that's what we're going to see. I think I'm hoping for that more than anything, at least at home. If we go away from home and play 5 at the back, I don't care.
What, Cienza and Fellows on the wings?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, up high and wide. Just up high, absolutely high and wide. And then it allows Manning to just do what he wants to do. Sit on the halfway line. Don't go forward. Yellott can go and get beyond Fellows if Fellows tucks inside, which we know he likes to do and can do really well. So it creates an overload. But I think we lose 1-0. I think we do create some chances. I just don't think we finish our dinner. And I'm with you. I actually think Ollie McBurney scores the goal. I think Peretz is absolutely going to help us because the corners that came into the box the weekend, when he came to punch, he punched really well. When he came to claim it, he claimed it really well. He's not bothered about a big striker standing on his toes on the line. He's going to push him out of the way.
He's a big lad himself, isn't he?
Yeah. And he looks like he'll just push him out of the way and go for it. And that's what you want from your goalkeeper. So he will know he's got to prove something in front of the home fans this weekend because it's going to be his home debut. I think he'll rise to that pressure. He's an international. Let's remember that. And Bayern Munich would not sign a player if he was crap.
No.
Okay, let's just remind ourselves the caliber of club that he's come from. Okay, and look at the keeper he's up against, by the way, to get to number 1. Yeah. You know, no one is going to get in front of him, until he retires. So, yeah, I think we lose 1-0. But I hope it's a good performance. That's like Lee said. I'd love to see a big scoring draw. I'd love to see a big scoring win. But if we lose 1-0 and we play well, you're not as angry at it. You're disappointed. Mm-hmm. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I think he's going to bottle it, and I think he's going to revert back to his 3 centre backs. I think it will be. I think he would have been annoyed with the Doncaster game. I think if it had stayed 3-0 or we'd gone on and won 4 or 5-0, then I think he might have had the guts to go and start a 4 at the back and try something a bit different. But I just think that second half performance, I think, has made him think.
Well, he shit his pants, didn't he, and went to 3 at the back
to stop the rot.
Yeah,
to stop the rot. So he's going to look at it and go, well,
yeah,
I need to be.
Didn't concede when I had 5 at the back.
Yeah, so I think he'll go to the 5 at the back again, and I think it will be a lineup that we've seen before. I think Stevens will come back in with Wood and Howard Bellis. I think Manning will definitely come back in, and I think he'll put Fellows back to the right wing back, and I don't think you'll see Ross Stewart. He'll be on the bench. I think you might see Ross Stewart on Wednesday. Possibly, but it will be Downs. I think if he drops Bragg, that will be incredibly harsh. But I don't think Bragg starts at Portsmouth. I don't think he'll want to put that kid.
I think Charles does.
There's rumours Charles will be fit for Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think we see Charles probably make an appearance the weekend. I'd probably see him getting a good hour on Wednesday, so he's probably one of the only ones I actually see. You see him on the pitch all 3 games.
Yeah.
And I think well, if Flynn Downs, I think he's on 3. I'm pretty sure he's on 3. So he's got 2. Well, that'll be 8. 8. So he's got 2 more to go till his next ban. It's a 3-game week, so we know he loves a yellow card and loves a tackle. They might protect him. And if Charles is back around and can do an hour or half an hour, then Yander's your other one, isn't he? That can do a game. So yeah, like I said, it depends on the rotation and how he's going to do it. We'll find out an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, that's it. And I think Azaz will be back in, Armstrong will be back in, Cienza, like I say. So I think it will be pretty much what we've seen before. And then I think going into Wednesday, he'll be clever because he won't want to start Bragg against Portsmouth. He probably I don't know if he start, maybe Yander will come back against Portsmouth, but I think Wednesday I think these next 2 games he'll manage Cienza's minutes. I don't think you'll see Cienza play more than sort of 60, 65 minutes. Either Saturday or Wednesday. He'll protect him for the Portsmouth. He needs him for that Portsmouth game.
Yep.
So I don't think he's got the kahunas. I mean, if he'd been picking up results, and we were 5 or 6 points better off, maybe, then he tried this 4 at the back against Doncaster. Maybe he'd stuck with it for a league game, but I just don't think he's in protection mode now. He's in save Tonda's arse.
But would he have stuck? But would he have changed, Matt? If he was on a winning roll, the attitude would have been, well, why fix something if it isn't broken?
Well, yeah, that's true. Maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm. You just can't second guess, can you? You just, it'll be interesting. But I think we lose 2-1 Saturday, and I think we get a 2-2 draw against Sheffield United.
Okay, so Lee, midweek, what's your prediction?
Well, if I'm right and we lose as badly as 3-1, I can see us losing Wednesday night. I think you're right. I think Wednesday night is I don't think they're easy games at all. But the fact we've beaten them before, I think it works in our favour. But having said that, they did have chances, didn't they? We missed the penalty and got a lucky goal. Sorry, that was my door opening by mistake.
And were we Wilder's first game back in charge?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll go for a draw Wednesday night. I will go for a draw. I think we are going to get a point out of these 3 games. So I'll go for a draw. I like a 2-2 draw, but I'll go 1-1 just to be different. There is going to be rotation. I think you'll probably see... Yeah, I think you'll see Bragg play Wednesday night. I don't think Downs plays Wednesday. I think Downs has midweek off because you need Downs must be on the pitch against Portsmouth.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you're right, Dan. I think you possibly see Shea Charles playing 15-20 minutes Saturday, maybe 15-20 minutes Wednesday, and then he's on the pitch and starting with Downs on Sunday. I can see that definitely.
What game for Romeo to be playing though in the Portsmouth game?
Don't start me off.
Maybe we'll see him.
We won't.
With 20 minutes Saturday and a start on Wednesday.
If Shea Charles is back, there's no place for him on the bench, especially when he's played no football.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I think I'm leaning with you, Matt. I think he bottled it, didn't he, against Doncaster? He went to 3 at the back. We kept a clean sheet when they were all on. The theory of a clean sheet. I think it will do that, and I think it'll be a very standard Tonda team. And then I think he just moves players around. Whichever one of the centre backs doesn't play Saturday, Stevens or Quasi, one of them will play on Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think Stevens plays against Portsmouth, so I think Stevens will start Saturday.
I think I disagree with that. I think Quasi will play against Pompey because they've got. I think it'll be Quasi, Wood, and Harwood Bellis because they've got pacey winger in.
Chaplin?
Murphy.
He's out injured though, isn't he?
Murphy?
Yeah.
Is he?
They've got a lot of injury problems.
Yeah, so it was Bishop played the weekend against Arsenal and scored and then went off injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've got massive.
Well, I don't know.
They've got massive problems, haven't they?
So I'm actually with Matt rethinking. I think Quasi plays Wednesday.
Yes.
Because I think Sheffield United have got pace. And I think they'll use him for that and maybe take out Wood And then Stevens will play. Yeah, I can see Stevens playing against Pompey,
Yeah.
and I can see him get sent off. To be honest,
Yeah,
I can see him
probably.
trying to be a hero and think, giving it the "I'll show you a fucking leader," and
Yeah.
just that bang, and
I think he'll go. I think he'll go Manning, Wellington, Manning. Wellington to start Wednesday. I think Yella to start, but then if Breezy's back, he may well start Breezy Wednesday night. But I think Ruslev's back fit, isn't he?
he was close, wasn't he?
Very close. So you might see Ruslev start Wednesday because Ruslev's a fit guy anyway.
He's an athlete, yeah.
He's naturally fit. He might start, but I'll put me down for a 1-1 draw on Wednesday.
Well, don't.
I think that's
we'll
our
obviously
only point of the
discuss.
three.
We'll discuss the Pompey game next week, so we won't give a prediction yet for that one.
I think my Pompey prediction will all depend on these two games.
Well, that's why I'm giving you the chance.
We're coming back before the Pompey game for a quick one, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think my Pompey prediction will depend on these two games. But I think we'll get a point out of these two.
I'm going to go the complete opposite. I'll see us going into the Pompey game with no points. I think we lose 2-1 against Sheffield midweek.
I can see it.
Can you imagine going into that Portsmouth game on the back of two home defeats?
They will beat us. We are going to bottle it.
As I said in our WhatsApp group,
so
it's that place, the small tight stadium around the pitch, the crowd are on top of you as a player, aren't they? Like the Dell used to be, that nobody used to like coming down to the Dell because the crowd felt like they were on top of you on the pitch, didn't they? And Dickhead will be ringing his bell, and it will just be,
they will
give credit where credit's due. Portsmouth fans at home,
decent,
are a good set of fans, aren't they? To be fair.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And they we got a lot of young kids out on that pitch, haven't we? Every week, and I just think, like you said, Lee, I just don't think they'll be up to it. They'll get bullied out there. They'll get overwrought by the occasion. I think. I just hope the media don't build it up like they did the home game, because that ruined it, didn't it? It was all about the.
Well, it's quiet, isn't it? We're only a week out, and it's very quiet.
I think both sets of fans are very aware that neither team is in much form at all.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take a lot for either team to get a bit of a spanking.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like, we're very capable. That team is very capable of turning it on. If they did that against Pompey, we'd annihilate them.
Yeah.
Equally, we're very capable of bottling it.
Yeah.
And Pompey go and do us 2 or 3-0.
Be 3-0 up at half time at Fratton Park and then come out and lose 4-3. You can see it.
Both sets of fans are nervous about the game.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it next week anyway. But yeah. So anyway, I think we're done there tonight. Unless anyone wants to say anything else, any untalked about business.
I think the only thing I'd like to add, just on the Pompey game very quickly, and go to the leader's point, is that that famous video you've got of Ralph's pre-game speech, and I completely agree, Lee. We've got no one to even deliver that.
No.
So
was that what of when we went to Fratton Park in the cup?
Yeah.
So
in the change
so for next week,
I've never seen that.
I'll send it, Matt, in the chat in a minute, and I'll tell you what, we'll put a link in next week's video. Maybe we listen to it live next week, and sort of we'll put it in the build-up show. So I'll ping it across after this.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just in summary,
big week.
No points from Dan, 1 point from me. What was your prediction for Wednesday, Matt?
2-2 draw.
2-2. So
1 point
from me.
Okay.
It is not looking good, Brev.
I think if you're on the board of Sport Republic, you're shitting a brick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about Sport Republic on next week's one, because we'll have been 2 home games further in by that point, and it could have all got very toxic. But we'll save it for then, shall we?
Absolutely.
So our 45-minute pod tonight is now an hour and 20. But there we go. You know.
Wow. Yeah, no, love our own voices.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Nice one, lads.
Thanks very much.
See you later.
And see you all next week.
See you later.